This is not just another broadcast. This is Frozen Apex TV, where racing is treated like the elite competition it is, where preparation meets pressure, and where nothing that matters goes unseen. We understand the sport because we understand the drivers, the commitment it takes to be here, the discipline behind every lap, the difference between sending it hard and sending it home. That's why we don't just follow the race, we break it down, corner by corner, battle by battle, from every angle that tells the real story on the track. While others catch the moment, we capture the meaning behind it. The dive bombs that change championships, the defensive lines that define careers, the split-second decisions made at 200 miles an hour. This is coverage built for leagues that demand credibility, for drivers who expect professionalism, and for competition that deserves respect. No missed action, no wasted shots, just pure, uninterrupted racing, delivered with precision. Freeze the moment, own the apex. Welcome to Frozen Apex TV. And welcome to Auto Club. We have count 'em, 2 races left to determine our champion. Current points leader, Matt Sisler. Total points, 7,770. Triple sevens, is it good luck? He is currently 33 points ahead of Russell Windsor in second place right now with 7,737. Triple sevens in his as well. So Russell has his work cut out for him, as does Matt Sisler to stay ahead. Bear with me here. All right, how's everyone doing tonight? Ty Weems, Unsociable, how y'all doing? We are just getting some drivers out on the track here for their qualifying lap. Let's take a look. Well, that was John Santoro. Not sure what's going on. Everyone's showing that they're loading and then cutting out. There we go. Ty Weems. Not a driver that we usually show, but he had a hell of a run last week. Not sure what's going on with everybody. Everyone's just kind of rolling out and stopping. Not sure if there's a bug with something going on. Let's take a look here. All right, Ty Weems. Let's try it again. In the number 44 here, out of Griffin, Georgia. Had a pretty stout run last week. I believe he was running pretty good. I can get a standing here. How did we do last week at Charlotte? Ended up 4th, which I don't want to speak ahead of him, but I believe that may have been his best finish of the season so far as a 4th place finish for the number 44 machine. You can see Raise Energy on the hood, Doughboy Cinematography down the rear quarters. Always a cool looking car. Kind of has that blue and the red mix. I don't know why, but when I think of this, I think it's like a mixed up red, white, and blue snow cone. But fun looking car for sure. Currently, Matt Sisler's doing what he needs to do and currently has it on the pole by 1/100th of a second ahead of Jacob Bessemer. Kyle Taub 3rd, Stegerwalt 4th, Dylan Harris 5th. Ty Weems currently 13th. Here's a man that needs a little bit of luck on his side tonight and next week. Russell Windsor here. currently second in the chase points, running for the championship. And the really, I mean, I'm going to be truthful. The only reason we're only talking about these two is, let me get the points back here, is because Matt Sisler and Russell Windsor are relatively close. Russell Windsor's 33 points, so he kind of needs some things to go his way. Obviously, a race win would be amazing for him, but, and I'm sure he, I don't know, he might or may not wish it, but needs some misfortune to fall in the lap of the 93 of Matt Sisler to make up 33 points. But as we've been watching, these drivers, both of them are on top of it. Both of them are great at what they do. They both have wins on the season. They're both usually running pretty well up front. Lil Hooper, how's it going tonight? How'd the car feel? Lil Hooper is Alan Steigerwalt, currently in fourth, so I believe you'll be starting first in Heat 2. Fantastic. Awesome. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. A lot of confidence. That's good. That's good. Maybe tonight, instead of watching you come from the back all the way to the front, we can watch you start in the front and just kind of stay there. But let's see here. Third in points is Evan Clapper. He gained a position after his win last week, but he's 124 points behind Russell Windsor. And I don't know if there's a situation that could make him have a shot at the championship. And Devin McIntosh is 28 points behind Evan Clapper. So he would be roughly 160 out of it. My math is not accurate there, but it's a rough number. I think if Evan Clapper wins the next two races and both Matt Sisler and Russ Windsor wreck out early, that might be something. But we are firing in to heat race number 1. Let's take a peek at our starting grid. On the pole, number 3, Kyle Taub. Starting in P2, Alan Steigerwalt in the number 72 machine. Monster this week. Looking good, looking good. The white Zero Ultra. Starting in the third, the number 24 of Dylan Harris. Fourth is going to go to the number 20 of Russell Windsor. Fifth, Blake McClung in the number 25. Eric Kepf in the number 63 is going to be firing off in 6th. Jackson Fanistock in 7th in the number 61. Jeffrey Yates in the number 70 starting in 8th. 9th is going to go to Niles Davis in the 38. 10th is going to go to Matthew Bruce in the 21. 11th going to go to Ty Weems in the 44. 12th is going to go to Austin Wright in the number 2 machine. 13th, going to go to Michael Harris in the 48, Milo Novitz in 14th, John Santoro 15th, Dan Rybarczyk 16th, James Lambert 17th, Dakota Crawford 18th, Evan Clapper 19th, Devin McIntosh is 20th, Stefan Ardell 21st, Zane Woods 22nd. That's going to finalize our field. This is quite a big heat. I'm not sure if there was a little something buggy happening here. Usually they split the field in half. 22, you could run 11-11. Which they do have your top 2, your pole sitters, are not in this, so it is definitely a heat. But a heat with all the cars, so hopefully some guys in the back can make up some ground and move forward, and hopefully some guys in the back, or in the front, can stay where they're at, because this is basically the entire field minus 2. So as we're coming through turns 3 and 4, Kyle Taub, Alan Steigerwalt are about to fire us off here. Lil Hooper in chat, about to go green. Pace car pulls it in. Barney's grabbing the flag. Lights are out. Green, green, green. Are barreling down the front stretch. Little contact in the back there already. Tobb is sitting fine up front, trying to find the line he wants to run, top to bottom, diving her low there. Steigerwald looked like he had a decent drive on the outside. Look at that pack of cars just fan way out in the back. Trying to get a view of the pack here. This track is so wide you can kind of follow the seam lines. There's like 5 different grooves you can run on. A lot of them are fast. We're going to probably see some 4 and 5 wide action today. Right there, 4 wide. 4 wide. Austin Wright on the top. Looking pretty good here. He's already up 4 positions, just running that outside, carrying a ton of speed. Oh, he gets into the wall. Able to collect himself. That was almost scary for Blake McClung on the inside as Austin Wright was kind of making the left-hand turn looking at him. Looking back up front, we got a battle for the lead. Steigerwald and Tobb. We're just side by side through the turns, and don't look now. There is Russell Windsor in the 20. Dylan Harris in the 24. Sharp looking ride as well. See if Russ Windsor is going to make a move here. He decides to stay high to try to get some of that carry out speed. Coming on corner exit. Is it going to work? It's not. Allen comes up and puts a little block on the 20 there. Russ Windsor chooses that outside. White flag is shown. Got to take a note of the person currently in 6th. Evan Clapper up 13 positions. Driving her from the back to the front. Not a great qualifying lap, but that doesn't matter when you got a heat like this. It's up 13 positions up into 6th. And we're not sure if he is done making his moves or not. See the 21 of Matt Bruce diving her down low. Coming out of turn 4, Matt Bruce in the wall. It's going to be Kyle Tobb. You're picking up the heat race win. Dylan Harris 2nd. Steigerwald 3rd. Russ Windsor 4th. Matt Bruce 5th. 6th is going to go to Evan Clapper. Jeff Yates is 7th. Austin Wright 8th. He gained 4 positions. Ty Weems 9th. Blake McClung 10th. James Lambert in 11th. Michael Harris 12th. Jackson Fanistock 13th. Eric Kepf is 14th. John Santoro 15th. Milo Novitz 16th. Dan Rybarczyk in 17th. Dakota Crawford in 18th. Zane Woods 19th. He gained 3 positions. 20th is going to Niles Davis. And my live timing did just make a shift, and we are in our warm-up period. Let's see if we can grab someone real quick to interview. Bear with me, trying to see who is in a team chat, if anyone. There are 2 drivers that I would like to interview, and I'm only seeing one in a chat. So let's grab him. Move him up to the east booth. Mr. Russell Windsor, it's Fred up in the booth. You got a copy on me.
I sure do. How you doing, Fred?
All right, we're doing all right. Let me just make sure. Okay, I got your audio on. All right, we were watching you run. You ran a hell of a heat race there. Probably not where you wanted to finish, but not a bad finish at all.
I wasn't going to wreck him for it there.
So we were wanting to ask, what is going through the brain of that number 20 in the Toyota, being 33 points out of a championship spot right now?
Well, the bad news is I'm now 43 points out already because old Sisler went and got the pole. So
that's right.
Basically, just I mean, I need some mistakes from Sisler at the end of the day, and he doesn't make many of them. So I just got to do what I can do The goal would be to lead the most laps and win. Do the same thing next week, but even if I do that and Sisler runs second, that's not enough. So
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah, you need to get the points made up is like you said, make a mistake or him to get we in the booth don't wish it upon anyone, but for yourself, you almost need him to get collected into something out of his hands, and that to kind of take a punch to the points for you to be able to catch up.
You can be honest, Fred. I know you're rooting for like a 5-point margin heading into the final race of the season.
I want a tie for first, man. That's going to make broadcasting super fun.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Sisler's quick, but I'm going to give it my best shot for sure.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I feel confident at any track that I can get up near that wall. Normally does good things for me. So.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, about that. This track kind of known for 4 to 5 different grooves that we can run on. You seem like you're a wall guy. You want to be up close to that wall, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I can't help it. Especially in 1 and 2, it goes really well through there. I mean, honestly, yeah, the whole track. And then I did a full tire run, fuel run in practice. The tire wear is not bad up there, in my opinion. So
Yep.
I don't think it's the lane to be in for the first 5 or 10 laps, but from that point on. But it's going to be a draft pack race and a survival race, so we'll see.
Right. All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck. You're probably going to get a lot of airtime. You should, hopefully, be running in the front most of the race, and hopefully we'll be interviewing you again here shortly.
Hope so. Thanks, Fred.
All right, brother. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, that was Russell Windsor. Currently in second. I was looking to try to interview Sisler as well, but I don't see him in a chat that I can steal him from. So we can just proceed without that. That's all right. My plan was to get Sisler and to get Windsor both in the booth and kind of see where they're both running at. But we got about a minute. We got a request for Ty Weems, so let's go grab him. Move to East Booth. Mr. Ty Weems, it's Fred up in the booth. You got a copy on me?
Yo, what's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing? How's everything feeling today?
Doing good.
Good.
It feels a little bit tight until we get in traffic, then it gets a little bit loose, so a little bit of everything.
All right, yeah, that's kind of the Auto Club experience here. We were watching you run your qualifying laps, and we were talking, and I got to ask you, without me pulling all of the stats, last week, Charlotte, I believe you got 4th. Is that your best finish, I believe?
I believe it is. I don't think I've gotten a podium in the Superstar Series, so I think so.
Right.
I know I've gotten, I think, a top 5 back in the beginning of the season, but yes, last week was definitely a good one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was fun seeing you up there. I was mentioning how I like the looks of your car. It reminds me of kind of like a snow cone, like a red, white, and blue snow cone. But
one of the more colorful ones out there in the field.
Yeah, for sure. What's the game plan coming into tonight? Any specifics?
Well, tonight I am rolling off 11th, so kind of mid pack. Just going to try to keep her clean, and we're going to see what's going to happen later in the race.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe with a little bit of luck, you might be able to gain a few spots that might just be handed to you. This track's known for some decent smashing crashing, so maybe something will, well, hopefully not fall in your lap, but maybe you can get a little bit of luck and make your way to the front.
Yeah. We'll see if we can get some strike going and see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Before I move you back down to your team, I know we've talked to Zane in the booth a couple times, but aside, anyone else you want to shout out or call, or you were actually requested that we interview you from Sheriff Ross, TL3GY on YouTube.
Yeah, hang tight.
So, anyone you want to shout out or give any credit to?
So I like to shout out my cousin, Zane Woods. He's one of my biggest supporters. Of course, my friends, Ross and Chrissy, you know, they're out there watching. But yeah, just blessed to be here, man.
All right, brother. Well, I'm gonna send you back down to Aces and Eights Motorsports. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll be interviewing you here shortly.
All right, thanks.
You betcha. All right, that was Ty Weems, and I think we're ready to start talking about tonight's starting grid. Starting Tal, who I don't think is actually racing, but we'll count him anyways. He's here in spirit. Stefan Ardell, going to be starting 24th, but I believe he is a scratch. Devin McIntosh rolling off in 23rd in the number 74. In 22nd, we've got Niles Davis in the 38. Zane Woods starting 21st in the 87. In 20th, we've got Dakota Crawford in the 08. Dan Rybarczyk in the 91. Milo Novitz in the 26. John Santoro in the 12. Eric Kepf in the 63. 15th place is going to go to Jackson Fanistock in the 61. Michael Harris in the 48 is going to be 14th, and 13th is going to go to James Lambert. 12th is going to go to Blake McClung, 11th to Ty Weems, 10th to Austin Wright. Good qualifying spot for him. Jeff Yates in 9th, Evan Clapper 8th, Matt Bruce in 7th. Russell Windsor, who we were talking to just a moment ago, is going to fire off from 6th. Alan Steigerwalt is going to be 5th, and I believe inside row number 2 is going to be Dylan Harris in the 4th, Dylan Harris in the 24 machine. A lot of 4s there. Kyle Taub is going to be in the 3 machine starting 3rd. Jacob Bessemer on the outside pole in the number 40 machine. And your tonight's pole sitter in the number 93 3 birdies machine, Matt Sisler, your current high point man, is leading us off. So we've got a point spread between the 93 and the 20. The 20 is hoping the 93 does something dumb, and the 93 is hoping he just can run away with it tonight. The pace car has made the left-hand turn. Barney has grabbed his flags.
Green flag, green flag.
We are green at Auto Club. You know what? We only got 2 races left. Let's do another loud lap. All right, we are officially underway at Auto Club. 3 laps in. Kyle Taub is doing his best to work that 93 of Matt Sisler. Current high points man, racing for the championship. Steigerwalt is looking good. Qualified good. He is up fighting for 3rd place right now with Jacob Bessemer in the 40 machine. Ty Weems up there as well. Ty is up 6 positions. 7 positions now as he secures 4th. I think Auto Club is a great track for some moving and shaking. John Santoro had a rough go last week, but he's up 11 spots here in that number 12 machine. Already moved in 4 laps. He's up, well, now 10 spots, but was 12. for the lead. Getting pretty heated here. Number 3 machine sitting right in the draft of the 93 machine. 72 is there ready to pounce. The 44 is there ready to pounce. Ty is up 7 spots. Yeah, currently locked in at 4th place. Ty is up 7 spots. Has a hell of a run going so far in that 44 machine. As Allen takes a shot to the bottom here, looking to get side by side for second. Ty Weems goes to the high side, pulls it in behind the 3. Kind of leaving Allen out to dry. Gets his spot back there, pulls her back in front of Bessemer. And the 40 machine took his time doing that. You could tell he was looking in the mirror, trying to make sure he was clear, listening to his spotter, making sure he wasn't putting himself or others in danger before just throwing it up there, which we do see sometimes. Williams currently in 3rd. Hagerwalt in 4th. Taub is in 3rd, and Sisler is leading. Now, I'm not 100% sure, and I know it's way too early to talk about it, but if Sisler happens to win this race, I don't know if that solidifies him in for a championship, but it's going to make it very, very difficult for Russell Windsor to take a shot at that championship standing. So as we are 7 laps green, pulling into lap 8, no yellows yet, which is good. Still very, very, very early in this race. But after the second half of Charlotte last week, we got to see a lot of these guys play some strategy, and got to note that that is pretty fun to watch. You can see the pack spreading out. There's a chance we see some 5 wide action here. Whoa, Ty Weems up into the wall. Saw some sparks coming off the right rear of that car. Got a little too high, wide, and handsome, but looks like he's able to keep her going. We heard earlier from Russell Windsor. He wants to kind of keep it on the top shelf as much as he can tonight. Says he felt that the tire wear was the best up there. Maybe he can build himself a good long run car. Which is almost an opposite approach of what we've been seeing from the 93 so far early on, as Sisler is really taking her all the way down to the white stripe through at least 3 and 4. Let's see what he does here in 1 and 2. Looks to keep her a little higher, run kind of that middle groove in 3 and 4, but you can see the 20 just out of camera shot here. Keeps her up on the wall, so close to the wall he's actually putting his paint on the wall. Ty Weems making the move to the bottom. Sisler driving her a little bit low there, going about 1.5 lanes off of the bottom. So 2 like opposite strategies for your point setters, and that's kind of fun to keep an eye on here. So a beautiful California sunset here at Fontana, California. Track temp is sitting right around 105, I believe, is what the thermostat was saying. Good hot track for him, racing into the beautiful California sunset here at Auto Club. See the nice, pretty glisten off a lot of these cars. We're running the golden hour. Not sure what might have happened. Nothing came up on my side, but it's showing Dan Rybarczyk is in the pits. Doesn't seem like he's got damage and nothing on my monitoring system, so hope everything's all right with the 91. Maybe a mechanical issue. Take a peek kind of through the field here as these leaders seem like they've settled in, and get to some others before we get a pit rotation going. Last week's race winner, Evan Clapper here in the 7 machine, the yellow car on the outside, currently running side by side with John Santoro. John is up 8 positions. Driver right behind them, newer to the East Series, was a Cup driver. Eric Kepf, I believe from what I've read, is that he's unable to hold the schedule for Cup. And please correct me later if I am wrong. 63 isn't able to keep up with the schedule of Cup, so he's going to be running, I believe, part-time with East. So former Cup driver moving back down to East. Not sure what's going on with the 72. Hopefully he's just conserving some tire for the late run. A little bit off pace. He's lost 6 spots. We did see him kind of fighting for 3rd, but he's back to 11th now. But as usual, we expect some moving and shaking. So we've seen the 72 come through a lot of stuff, so we know he can work his way back up there. Poking back, Austin Wright currently rolling in the 14th place. Looks to be kind of the last car on the main pack, so good for him to keep that draft going, keep himself being a part of it. And behind him, we've got Milo Novitz, Dakota Crawford, and Dylan Harris in the 24. Milo with another cool car. Always has some of the more fun to look at artworks. There was a while where he was doing almost a new paint scheme every week in the 26 car, so cool to see him on another new look, keeping it fresh. Jackson Fanistock in the, this week, pink Little Caesars 61. Looking pretty good out there. Nice and shiny looking car. Oh, and we've got a couple around. What is going on here in the middle? No yellow. No yellow is out. Let's see what happened. I believe... Oh, we were just talking about Milo and Dakota Crawford in the 8. Dakota's able to keep her going. Milo just skids to that inside wall. Definitely getting you off pace, but looked like no yellow thrown. So we're going to stay green here. Looks to be staying green. Some contact. Sent him through the infield. Both cars able to keep her straight. Back to poking through. We've got Zane Woods here in the 87. Dakota Crawford has pulled her into the pits. Zane in the 87. Niles Davis in the LMC truck 38. Milo obviously way off pace after the incident that just happened, and Dakota pulling her into the pits here. Back up front, Matt Sisler still leading her, coming to lap 19. Russell Windsor in 3rd. He's worked his way up, just riding around on that outside. Putting himself on a different line than the leader. So, like we were saying a minute ago, it's going to be fun to see how this plays out for each of them when it comes to tire wear. See if that 20 can gain a couple laps as he's thinking that the tires aren't wearing as much to the top. Oh, and the yellow flag is out. Yellow is out. Couple cars look to be involved. Let's take a peek here. I believe we're going to get our first set of pit stops. Looking to be Blake McClung in the 25 on the top, and it looks like Alan Steigerwalt could have also been involved. So let's take a look here. 25. All right. Oh, gets into the wall. Oh. 25 bumped the wall, caught the right rear quarter of the 72, and you can see the 72 just going along for the ride. Hate to see that. Allen, who was fighting for the lead there, super confident at the track. They do get separated, it looks like. Allen's able to keep her going. Hopefully the steering is straight for both of those cars. Looking like Lil Hooper is able to give her a couple shakes there and see maybe no harm, no foul. Both drivers able to drive her away. Have to keep an eye out when he goes into the pits to see if there's much for repairs on that 72 machine as the 25 machine, and also on the 25 machine, sorry. As here we go down the pits. Being led by Matt Sisler, and it looks like pretty much everyone is coming in here right on lap 20. I always love when everyone breaks in for pitting. It just looks like organized chaos. Matt Sisler. Seeing how he does. If anyone might be able to beat him off pit lane. Couple cars from the back coming to the front. So it looks like Sisler's going to maintain his spot first. Kyle Taub second. Ty Weems third. Bessemer fourth. Russell Windsor fifth. Matt Bruce, Eric Kepf up 9 spots. On that pit rotation. So Matt Sisler still leading her. Steigerwalt is getting the car checked over by the team. Blake McClung is getting the car checked over by the team. Ty Weems holding strong up here. My scoring board, it is showing him as third, but we'll see how they line up. Ty Weems has definitely been showing a ton of speed late season here. Looks like Ty will be firing inside row number 2, right behind the race leader of Matt Sisler. All right, 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back. Nice pack of cars. Rounding her around here. 3 and 4. Do we want to go loud again? We want to get another loud lap in? Let's do it. Let's get another loud. And we'll check everyone's aggression levels.
Green, green, green.
Green drops again.
All right. Matt Sisler fires out of the gate, still leading her. Kyle Taub still right there in the second place spot. Jacob Bessemer has taken over third. Ty Weems in fourth. With a push coming from Matt Bruce. On the inside, Russell Windsor will be trying to make something happen on the outside as well. Taub in a real sharp looking car. That red, white, and blue always looks good. Yellow number on the roof. Very clean looking ride. So he seems to catch Sisler in the turns. Like he's got more of a straightaway speed. But it's like Sisler kind of pulls away sometimes in the turns. Maybe 1 and 2. He pulls him in 1 and 2. I mean, he seemed to catch him there. Sisler going low. Got about a 1.5 car length gap there. Well, Taub looks like he might be building himself a little run here. As Jacob Bessemer has also closed that gap as well here. As the next car back. Highlighter green, number 40. Easy car to spot on the track. As if we catch some of the reflections across the hoods and the windshields, I believe the lights are on. As we are about to be racing into the nighttime here at Auto Club. Ty Weems trying to close the gap on Bruce there. Scrubbed a little speed. Bruce gets around him. Ty falls back to 5th. Both Eric Kepf and John Santoro are up 10 positions, as is Devin McIntosh. Steigerwald is still out, still on the lead lap, but well off the pace. So we're hoping that there's not a lot of damage on that car, but it looks like he isn't able to keep up with the pack. So hopefully throughout the rest of the race with some pits, he can get in and get the stuff fixed and maybe make a late race drive for the 72. Eric Kep is putting on a kind of mid-race charge here as we're coming into lap 30. Evan Clapper as well on the bottom. We are 4 wide. 4 wide through the turn there. That is crazy. Oh, contact. Ty Weems. Able to keep her together, but definitely some contact. Kind of kicked him off the pace. Lost a few positions here in the 44 machine, but was able to keep her running straight. going to be interesting to see if anyone has anything for Sisler. It's a couple of these drivers have caught him. No one's really been able to get around him. I don't think that he has not led a lap this entire race. But Evan Clapper is looking at bottom. Evan Clapper and him are side by side, as it looks like Taub wants to go 3 wide for the lead. As Sisler backs in behind Taub. Kyle Taub's going to be the new race leader, but we got to see if Evan Clapper has something to say about that, as he has made the drive up 6 spots to try to get to the lead here. Kyle Taub out leading. We have an incident happening in the back that we kind of need to take a look at here, as it does involve Russell Windsor and Eric Kepf possibly going off track. Oh my, yeah, contact. Around goes the 20. Again, no yellow. No yellow was thrown for this, as the 20 was able to collect and keep moving. So the 63 and the 20 get together. That is not good for Russell Windsor, as he has fallen back to 21st. Has to be praying for a yellow at this point. So I do want to apologize to everyone if I sound a little raspy, or if you hear me coughing or clearing my throat. I've been kind of fighting a little bug all week. So, drinking plenty of fluids, trying to keep the voice and myself hydrated. So if I sound a little bit off, that's why. Or if I'm trying to clear my throat out, that's why. I try to mute up, but sometimes I forget to. Battle back here. A group of cars running. Ooh, and some contact. James Lambert down the track, bumping doors with Matt Bruce there in the 21. John Santoro wants to play. Jackson Fanistock wants to play as well, as Jackson is kind of putting on a late race drive here, as we are swapping paint again with the 54 and the 21. Not sure how many times that's going to happen before something uncorks between them two. As we share some paint again. Definitely a little physical battle here for 6th place. Rubbin is definitely racing. Ty Weems is sitting right behind it. Ooh, sitting up in the wall there, a little too high. Hoping that the 54 and the 21 get so mad at each other that something crazy happens and Ty Weems can just sneak on by. Santoro going 3 wide in the middle here. Ty Weems on the top. Devin McIntosh on the bottom. Michael Harris right behind him in the 48. Jackson Fanistock on the top, right behind him again. Eric Kepf right behind him, right behind Jackson. So we're about halfway through this race already. Back up front, we've had a lead change. Evan Clapper gets around Kyle Taub. That's knocked Sisler back to 3rd. Jacob Bessemer in 4th. Good little draft pack here in the front. Clapper is coming through turns 3 and 4, trying to figure out how he can scrap together the final 35 laps of this race. And maybe, just maybe, with a little bit of luck, go 2 for 2 on race wins. But at the moment, looks like Kyle Taub is not having it. As Kyle throws it to the inside, secures the lead. Can he put the block on to finalize it? And he does. Lead change back to Kyle Taub. Turns 1 and 2. Sisler is right there looking to pounce as well. Clapper back on the bottom. Is he going to give it back to Taub? Kind of in that drive-in position. Pulls her back behind Taub. Doesn't push her too much. Moving back into the pack here. James Lambert's currently leading the pack with Matt Bruce right behind him. Ty Weems in 7th spot. Dylan Harris with quite a move to get to the bottom. And absolutely a move there as he fires her into 3 and 4. Definitely trying to own that bottom at the moment. Michael Harris running the outside in the 48 snap-on machine. Trying to get around Dylan Harris. Now, be interesting. I don't know if there's any relation between the two. Both last name Harris. Not sure. Do believe that there is relation between Dylan Harris and Devin McIntosh. As you can see, Dylan Harris 24 here. Sharp looking car. I don't know who does their graphics, but they crushed it. Dylan Harris, and if we look at Devin McIntosh, flip opposite schemes, but the same scheme. I believe they're brothers? Oh no. Matt Sisler off track. Kyle Taub has crashed. We have something going on up in the front. We're back here looking at paints. Let's take a look, as this has some playoff implications if something negative happened to this 93 machine. Let's get a good look here. It's going to be between the 3 and the 93. 93 comes down the track. Oh, Sisler kind of with a jump there. Possibly some right front damage from it. Not sure. Looks like maybe the right front's kicked out, but he's kind of still there. Definitely pulled her down into the pace line as if he's showing to go to the pits. Now Kyle Taub is showing that he has crashed as part of that wreck as well, so let's get a good look at that. Here. Let's just try to see what happened. We'll slow her down. Okay, looks like from this angle, and I can't put blame on anyone, but from this angle, it looks like Sisler may have threw her in a little too hot there, trying to make the pass. Just got into the side of the 3. That is where Taub doesn't really go around, but drifts. Doesn't seem like a lot of damage on the 3, fortunately. Just some lost position. He's going to be scored 4th. Sisler, well, now he's going to be scored the leader. I'm not sure where he's at with the wreck and all, and if and how much damage is on the 93. So we got to keep an eye on this, as Russell Windsor is kind of making his way back up through the pack, I believe, and could potentially be licking his chops at the sights of the 93's misfortune. Sisler does look like he is taking some repairs. Russell Windsor now has to figure out how to drive this car from 16th to 1st. Back up front, it's going to be Bessemer and Clapper are going to be scored your leaders, with James Lambert and Matt Bruce 3rd and 4th. We got Ty Weems in 5th and Devin McIntosh up 17 spots in 6th. Ooh, as Clapper decides to pit there, maybe a little late call. So Evan Clapper pulling her in. Not sure if he may have missed the pit the last shot. So he's pulling her in. Sisler still getting repaired. Doing his best to stay on the lead lap. Getting as much fixed as he can. Looks like he's going to keep his lead lap status. But he is way back in 21st now. See, there was some right front damage from the contact and the jump, or the hop. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that car to see if that 93 is still quick and still able to move through. So we're gonna be fired off by Bessemer and Lambert. Row 2 is gonna go to Bruce and Ty Weems. Row 3, McIntosh and Harris. 4 is going to go Harris and Novitz. And row 5 is going to go Yates, and Zane Woods is up to 10th. Zane up 11 positions in the 10th place spot. Going to be firing outside here. About 30 laps the distance. Could be the last pit stop we see if this stays green. Bessemer, Lambert, green. Barney's throwing the flag. Let's fire him back off here at Auto Club. 28 laps the distance. Couple new leaders here. Let's see how Bessemer and Bruce work together. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that they are teammates, so good on them for working this far forward. Ty Weems working on James Lambert there, 3rd and 4th. As Devin McIntosh trying to get that bottom drive going. Corner exit. Ty Weems floats with the wall a little bit. Ty Weems tucks her in right behind the 54. So I think no matter how this is going to end, I think Sisler led the most laps. But you can see that 20 is appearing. Russell Windsor is up to 8th. And a win is big. Sisler got the 10 bonus points for qualifying, and I believe that there's some points for leading the most laps as well. Possibly if Russell Windsor can capitalize on the mistake and drive his way to the front, Windsor might be able to make up a little bit of ground. We can have a good duke out at Homestead for the championship next week. Ty Weems up to 3rd. Great run for him. Devin McIntosh up to 4th. He's 19 spots ahead. Dakota Crawford making his way through the pack as well. Currently sitting in 9th. He's up 11 spots. Back up to the front, Ty Weems has closed in on the leaders. We'll see what this 44 can do. Looks like the 3 leaders are running a different line between the 3 of them, which is interesting. Bruce went a little low. Bessemer stayed kind of middle. Ty Weems went high. Wow. Weems stays high. Goes low. Bessemer stays high. Stays high. Or sorry, Bruce stayed high and went even higher. And then Bessemer went low. They're definitely mixing it up through the turns here. As Devin McIntosh making his presence known with Dylan Harris in tow. Weems up to second here. Got around Matt Bruce. A pair of teammates here working to the front. So I believe Matt Bruce and Jacob Bessemer are also teammates for Starting Park. A couple Black Label cars here, the 74, the 24. See what the 44 can do. And the 40. Now Bessemer's been kind of a tough shell to crack with his drive style. As long as he's able to be in it, he's in it. But 44 making the move on the inside. He can make this stick. Looks like he's cleared him with some room. Ty Weems, new race leader. 17 laps to hang on to it. Can the 44 hold on for 17 laps? The 74 makes some moves as well as he and Dylan Harris are driving to the front, it seems. There is Bessemer, Bruce, Lambert, all fighting for second. James Lambert's trying to break up that pack of Chevys. Ty just needs to keep hitting his marks. Hope someone else doesn't hit his marks better than him. We have James Lambert and Matt Bruce again side by side. We were watching them swap some paint earlier with one another. Definitely leaning on each other. They touch again on corner entry. And again through corner apex. I have a feeling this is eventually not going to end well for both of these drivers. One of them may get upset. Who's it going to be, and are they going to be able to keep her together? Weems holding that high side. Bessemer's trying to make it work on the inside. Bessemer really pushing that car hard, trying to make up some ground, but the side effect of that is kind of wearing the tires. Now, how much do you care with only 15 laps to go? I'm not sure. Your race strategy call, but looking pretty solid for Ty Weems at the moment. Russell Windsor sitting in 6th. He's also trying to play some attack. He's got to really start making up some ground, making some moves here, and capitalize as many spots as he can, with Matt Sisler currently running 19th. To 5th. Do we see some more moves here from him? He dives her to the bottom. Wow, he's looking to make up a lot of ground as Bessemer goes to the top. Puts it in front of Matt Bruce. Teammates linked back up here. They're going to try to work together. See if they can pick apart the 44 Ty Weems, who's been running pretty solid since he's taken the lead. Besmer diving her low again, trying to cut some ground here. Doesn't seem to pay a dividend. Battle for second between Besmer, Bruce, and Lambert. Besmer looks like he might have a run this time on the inside on the 44. Matt Bruce goes to the outside. Make it stick there, but does Besmer make it stick? Gonna be side by side at the stripe. Besmer holding way low. Definitely showing the inside. Let's see what he can do in turns 1 and 2 here. This is usually where Ty makes up a little bit of ground. Ty holds that outside. So Besmer might have gotten around him. They're pretty much side by side here. Drag racing down the back. Bruce pulls into second. Putting on a little bit of draft. Playing with the arrow off the 44. 10 to go. Being led by Ty Weems, or 9 to go. Oh, Ty hard into the wall. The pressure is on. Just gotta run your race here. Weems, hopefully that didn't put damage on that car. Seems like he's still out front just fine, getting the push from Matt Bruce. Matt's getting a push from James Lambert. Like 4 wide, just behind that all. Russell Windsor's up to 3rd. Russell's definitely going to be picking this apart. Trying to make a move as quick as he can as he dives her to the inside. Russell Windsor with a drive from like 6th to 1st in 1 lap. Absolutely diabolical that just happened. Russell Windsor conserve, and to the front he went. Now, he is leading 8 laps to go with Matt Sisler all the way back in 19th. Russell Windsor hangs on to this. He might have a shot at the championship after the race. We got 7 to go this time by being led by the number 20. Devin McIntosh on the inside as well, up 20 positions, currently in 3rd in that 74 machine. Incredible drive by him. Ty on the outside, currently 2nd, 3rd if Devin McIntosh does complete this pass. Does not look fully clear yet. 6 laps to go. 3 wide for 2nd. Evan Clapper on the bottom trying to do 2 for 2 here. Russell Windsor said if he could find the wall, just ride around the top. That might be his late race plan. Hopefully save some tire, but Devin McIntosh looks like he might be wanting to throw a wrench in the gears here. Same with Evan Clapper, last week's race winner. Russell Windsor not coming off that wall. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Gotta respect it. Besmer has fallen back to 4th. Ty Weems in 5th. Matt Bruce in 6th. 4 laps to go. John Santoro on the outside is a lap car, and this could kind of shake some stuff up a little bit. But looking not bad for Devin McIntosh right now as Santoro's choosing that outside and making it difficult for anyone to get around both of these cars, let alone the 74. Evan Clapper trying to put the drive in the middle. Can he make it stick? Lapper on the outside, leader on the inside. We're 3 wide with 3 laps to go. Evan Clapper takes over the lead. Another lapper here, Milo Novitz. And I believe 48 of Michael Harris is a lapper as well. Running 3 wide with Russell Windsor. The popsicle sticks are being thrown for the number 7 machine of Evan Clapper. Lap traffic is making the end of this race quite interesting, honestly. As Windsor is still there, Devin McIntosh looked like he lost a bunch of pace there. Oh, we got cars going around. Yellow flag is thrown with 2 laps to go. We're going to go into overtime as Bessemer is hard into the wall. I'm not sure what happened. I believe it might have been a wreck with a lap car, possibly? Let's take a look. We are going to watch the bright green number 40 car. Oh, actually, we're watching the 26 here. Milo Novitz, strong drive through the middle. Contact. Oh, and Bessemer just nowhere to go. Contact with the 26th. Let's get another look, maybe another angle here. From Bessemer's POV. I believe he might have been contacted again by another car. So here we are. You can see just nowhere to go. Car right in your lap, gets spun right in front of you. Oh, and he makes contact. I believe that was Kyle Taub. All right, well, that's definitely putting a change into the race here, as we are about to go green, white, checkered. We're not going to get loud. We got to call this one. So once we go green, we're not gonna do the loud camera, as we're gonna be in some overtime. Evan Clapper scored the leader. Devin McIntosh in second. Does Clapper take tires? He does. Evan Clapper pulling her in for tires. McIntosh, Russell Windsor, everyone's pulling her in. I was wondering if anyone on the lead lap was going to stay out just to stay out, but it doesn't look like it. Let's take a look here. Your race leader, Evan Clapper. He's taken 4. Everyone else took 2. Russell Windsor wins the race off of pit road. Going to be scored the leader. Taken 2, I believe. Matt Bruce also took 2. Evan Clapper taken 4. Falls back to 5th. Devin McIntosh is 4th. Kyle Taub, even after the contact, is now in 3rd. Not sure what happened to Ty Weems, but he's... Well, let's see how this pans out once we get reset, because he's already gaining positions. But he was running so close to the front, was leading it for a while, currently showing 12th, but I'm not sure the accuracy of that until we all get lined back up. But Russell Windsor on the late race pit strategy call taken, I believe, 2 tires. Same with Matt Bruce. This is going to be a fight to the finish. Teams look to be broken up. Couple cars getting the wave around here. I believe Santoro, Austin Wright, Milo Novitz. And there is Russell Windsor on the inside. Matt Bruce on the outside. Wonder how that is going to pan out with Russell Windsor wanting to run the outside. Been so confident in that outside lane. Wonder if maybe he'll try some inside stuff just to hold position, or if he has that car dialed on the top. We'll have to find out here, as we are under a green-white checkered, about to go live, about to go green, about to figure out if the cream is going to rise to the top. Wow, cream rising to the top. Russell Windsor, Matt Bruce, row 1. Kyle Taub, Devin McIntosh up 19 positions in row 2. Evan Clapper, Eric Kepth, row 3. Dylan Harris, James Lambert, row 4. Zane Woods up 12 spots, and Michael Harris in row 5. This is going to be a crazy, crazy finish of this race. And I don't know if we've seen the last yellow. But Russell Windsor is going to lead us off here, as we are back green to finish this race at Auto Club. Russell Windsor gets a good pull on the start. Slides up high, playing his defense. I believe he's going to want to get to the top. That's where he said he was confident. But I don't know if that's where he wants to finish the race. We're not inside of his helmet, but he has to put a block on that 21, and that is exactly what he is doing. Ooh, but the 21 does dive it low. Does Windsor have the drive off, or can Matt Bruce capitalize on the bottom? They are side by side in a drag race. The white flag is out. Russell Windsor on the outside, Matt Bruce on the inside, Kyle Taub right there behind him. Devin McIntosh also there looking to strike. Russell Windsor still running that outside lane. That's what he said he was going to do. To the top, McIntosh in the wall. Taub diving her low. Going to try to set something up here. Coming into turn 3, Kyle Taub to the bottom. Russell Windsor putting a little gap there. Can he close and maybe pinch onto that 3 car? Contact in the back. Russell Windsor, Kyle Taub, Matt Bruce. Russell Windsor at the line by 1/100th of a second. Holy mackerel. What a finish by that number 20. What a run by that number 21. And what a good recovery by the 3 car. What a end of that race. I kind of want to show you guys just how close that was before we start doing some interviews here. As gotta just see the stripe right there by just a nose cone, if you will. That is a close race. Very, very close. Almost a photo finish. By the nose of that car, Russell Windsor picks her up here at Auto Club with an amazing, amazing run in that Mobile One number 20. Let's see who is available for interviews, if anyone. Let's take a look here. Looking for Kyle Taub. I'm not seeing him. All right. Well, we're going to grab Matt Bruce, our second place finisher here. Move him on in. Matt, it's Fred up in the booth. You got a copy on me.
Hey, Fred, how's it going?
Oh, going great. What a finish to that race, huh?
Oh man, that was some crazy stuff there. The lap traffic, the fuel save. I don't know if you guys knew, but we were all about to run out coming to the white flag, or I think Jake and I would have made it, and maybe a couple others, but it was close.
Well, I actually didn't know about the fuel, but we did see a little difference in tire strategy from the leaders on that last pit for green, white, checkered.
Yeah, we did some practice with right sides and trusted it.
Nice. Yeah, I saw, I believe Evan Clapper was leading it when the yellow come out, and I think he took 4, and I believe the 3 that finished in front of him only took 2. I saw you, Kyle Taub, and Russell Windsor take just the rights and pull on out with it. I wasn't thinking fuel, but yeah, that definitely plays a factor here, huh?
Yeah, it was a big time. I made the wrong call on pit strategy last week, but made it work this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And you put it in a podium. Great finish, honestly. Great finish. So congrats on that. What was you ran up front a whole bunch. What was kind of the strategy all race?
My strategy was to save and try to get to the end there. I mean, fuel was huge. I was trying to draft on my teammate Jake, and he kind of got taken out on the team. But yeah, it was good. Just stay safe and get through.
Yeah, and obviously paid some bills for you tonight.
Absolutely.
Before we move on to our next interview, anyone you want to shout out or say thank you to or throw any shade at?
Well, the 54, I think, and I became pretty good friends tonight. We got together a couple times, just a little bumping and banging. It was good fun racing. But thanks for all you do here, Fred.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, now that you said that, we were, if you go back after the broadcast ends, we mentioned you in the 54 a couple times of how long is this going to go for before someone uncorks it.
We thankfully kept it clean. Maybe you'll see something in Valley. Who knows?
Yeah, that was, there's a lot of paint being traded. I mean, obviously it kept it clean. You guys never went around, but there's definitely some hard racing there.
For sure.
So glad you guys were able to keep it clean. Glad you were able to pull into a podium finish on P2. So congrats on that. And maybe we'll be talking to you again at Homestead.
Sounds good. Thanks.
You betcha, man. All right, that was Matt Bruce. Let's grab Kyle Taub here. He is now in the waiting room. He's our third place finisher. Kyle, it's Fred up in the booth. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing all right. Congrats on the podium. That's pretty cool to see.
Thank you.
What was so I'm assuming when the late I'm trying to think. There was a wreck and you weren't collected in it, but you had some contact in it. I'm assuming no damage on the car, right?
No, there was quite a bit of damage.
Really?
To the left side of my Blackout Coffee Ford Mustang. There was some wheel damage somewhere, but I couldn't feel it. But there was quite a bit of left side damage. Was able to get a good portion of it repaired, but I could definitely still feel it at the end. It felt like I was lacking a little bit in a straight line.
Okay, all right. Wasn't lacking too much as you brought it back for a podium finish, so that's good. But yeah, I remember we saw you kind of go around and you were skating through the infield there, and that's never good, but you were able to kind of recoup from that and capitalize on a good solid finish. So that's good.
Yeah, it was a good race. It's unfortunate that wreck happened about halfway through.
Yeah.
But thankfully I was able to recover enough to get myself into a position to have a chance for the win, and that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah. The split differential is 0.014 of a second between second and first. It was about a front bumper. So it was definitely a close finish, and I think if it was another 100 feet, we might have had a 3-wide battle for the win because you were right there as well. But what was the strategy going in, and then what was the strategy after the incident that you had?
I mean, up until that unfortunate incident with Sisler, my plan honestly was just to ride either first or second and just defend. The runs that you'd get out of the corners in this car, anywhere near the top half of the track, were just too powerful. Along with the toe down the stretch, down the straightaways, if you were sitting second or third,
Right.
it was pretty. It wasn't very difficult to defend off moves from the car behind if you had a toe in front of you, and then any bit of clean air was amazing through the corners, especially if you were running second, third, just sitting there riding. But I was hoping maybe we could get it all the way in, kind of like that from that point, but that unfortunate incident happened.
Right, right.
But I mean, after that final run was cutting it very close on fuel. There's a few guys that sounded like they might have been able to make it, and quite a few that pitted early. I had enough gas to get to the end there, so I was kind of hoping that went green.
Yeah,
But,
that's.
I still
Go ahead.
had enough track position to give myself the chance at the win there at the end.
Right, right. That's what Matt Bruce was saying. Is I believe he was kind of on fumes at the end, and fortunate it went green after the green white checkered, but it sounded in his voice that maybe he may have not had it if there was another one. So, so love that. Love the late strategy, and that it's always a gamble with your fuel at the late. If these things stay green for a long time, it's always a gamble with the fuel at the end. So glad that it worked out for you. And before I send you back down, anyone you want to thank, give a shout out to, any sponsors, throw shade, anything like that?
Yeah. If you go to blackoutcoffee.com, use code TUB20, you get 20% off your first order of coffee through Blackout. And then a huge shout out to Juicy Spider. That's the group that I typically run with. I got them on the car in this series, not as the main sponsor, but they are on the car. They are helping me through. So
nice.
shout
Yeah,
out
I
to them.
saw the logo there. I see them guys running up in the Cup series, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, we'll have to go check out some coffee. Sounds great. All right, man. Well, maybe we'll be interviewing you again next week at Homestead.
That's the hope.
All right, man. Well, good run tonight. Congrats on the third, and we'll be catching you later.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, and our race winner here. Let's grab Russell Windsor. Russell, it's Fred up in the booth. You got a copy.
I got you, Fred.
Well, that was kind of an emotional roller coaster in that one, huh?
Yeah, to say the least. There was a point in there where I was like, it was out of my hands what happened, and then sometimes it just falls back into your lap.
Yeah, we were talking that you kind of needed some unfortunate stuff to happen to the 93. You got that, but in return you had some unfortunate stuff happen to you, so that kind of shuffled the deck. And then here we are 75 laps after the last time I talked to you, and you're parking it in victory lane. You made up some decent points on Sisler. I'm not sure what the final is. I don't know if they've updated that or not yet. I'm checking right now.
Yeah, I guess I think I positionally should have made up like 70 on him, but I don't know if he won. I know he got the pole, and I know, so that'll be 60, and then I know he led a lap. I did too. If he led the most laps, then I'm probably 15 up on him or so, 15 or 20.
I'm pretty sure he did lead the most laps. I think he led every lap past halfway. Unless I cut camera and went somewhere else and someone else was scored as the lap leader. But I think past, I don't remember what lap his incident was on, or where he gave up the lead, but I think
Well,
he led. I think
he's
he led
lost.
most laps out of everyone in this race. Because even at the end,
Uh,
when he wasn't leading, it was people shifting around that were leading.
for sure. So he seemed to have lost a little bit of hope, but now he's just, we got to go. He's got to go get the pole, lead the most laps or something. Who knows what's going to happen next week? I could get taken out or do something stupid. I mean, I think when I went through the grass, wasn't nobody's fault. It was just a racing deal. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see when these official points are updated to see what the spread is gonna be, and that's gonna be a lot of fun heading into Homestead.
for sure. Well, I wish we were going to Homestead. I guess we're going to Texas, right?
Oh, I thought it was Homestead. Yeah, no, it might be Texas. I was
I
just
think we're
running
going to
off of.
Texas, which I've never been there before, so
Oh,
we'll see
okay.
how that goes for me. But it does seem to suit my driving style, I would think. So
I don't know. So you're the third person I've talked to about Homestead, and it is Texas. I don't know where I got Homestead from.
yeah, I wish we could run that one back because I do love Homestead. But either way, I think we've got a neck and neck battle for the points lead, and I think Clapper and McIntosh should be neck and neck for third place. So you can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, there was only a 28 point spread coming into this between third and fourth between Clapper and McIntosh. So, yeah, that'll be a fun one as well. And
Yeah, it feels like everybody's kind of hit their stride. For a while in this league, it felt like there was maybe 5 guys, but it feels like there's a good 10 or 12 guys right now that are really running some good races. So
yeah, for sure. And that's like what we were talking about is a lot of these like kind of runs that guys are getting. Like McIntosh at the end there had a shot at the win. He was up like 20 something positions. I mean, he finished 8th, he's up 15. Like he was just driving up through the pack, and weekly we see guys like Alan Steigerwalt drive up through the pack, like doesn't qualify the greatest but somehow makes it up to the front. So I think you're right with it could kind of be almost not I don't want to say a crapshoot because yourself, Evan Clapper's been running really well, and obviously Bessemer usually runs well, Santoro runs well, Sisler runs well. You have a group of guys that usually, unless something crazy happens, are usually in the front. But there is always them. I don't want to say one-offs, but someone has a lucky day or something crazy happens, or they've just figured out a track and all of a sudden they're up there. So that is
for
that is
sure.
kind of cool and definitely can shake some things up.
And that one there at the end, actually, I think McIntosh had it because he had the fuel. I was going to run out. Lambert was going to run out for sure. I'm sure you talked to Bruce and Todd. I think they were going to make it, but
So
if I didn't get that caution, I definitely was not going to win that race.
Bruce had fuel at the last caution. He said he was okay, but I think the tone in his voice was saying he wasn't. If that would have went yellow again and another restart, if there would have been a crash, I'm not sure if he would have made it again. That or he would have been running on a prayer. And Taub said he was good on fuel. If it would have went green, he had plenty.
Yep. Well,
So-
hopefully it was fun to watch. It was pretty intense. That was probably the most intense race of the season, I would say.
Yeah, especially with points in a championship on the line, and you going and mowing some lawn early on, and then going and mowing it again, but this time in victory lane later in the race.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to Bruce, Taub, Clapper. You could pretty much go down and name the top 20 in this race. You can name almost everybody cut me a break at one point in time or raced me clean, didn't jump up in front of me in line and, or put me in the wall. So
Sure, yeah.
good racing all around tonight by the whole field.
Yeah, no, it was great to watch on the broadcast side as we were able to watch the leaders for a little bit and then just pick someone random in the middle, and there was always 2 or 3 wide action the entire field, and guys would drive it from 20th up to 5th and then fall back, and guys would go from 4th and fall back and drive it back and back to front. So there was always moving happening, and like right at the end of the race, it felt like you went from like 6th to 1st in a lap. and I think I called that out, and that was cool to watch. And it was just all of a sudden the car just sticks somewhere and no one else's does, and boom, you're leading.
Yeah, it was
But,
insane. Well, hopefully I'm here talking with you in the same spot next week. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone you want to thank or shout out before I send you back?
I know my dad's watching Fast Eddie, and probably my uncle Bob. If he's not watching live, he'll probably catch up on it. So shout out to them, and of course shout out to Vivor. We just opened a store in Houston, Texas. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
All right. So, all right, brother. Well, we will catch you next week at Texas, not Homestead. Make sure your hauler goes to Texas and not to Florida. If they do, that's probably on me. But all right, man. Well, congrats again on the win. This is going to make for one spicy finish to the season, as you guys are going to be real close once these points hit. So we will catch you at Texas and hopefully be interviewing you again.
See you next week, Fred. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I was hoping that the points would have been updated at this point, but they unfortunately haven't been. I believe Sam has to do that, and I'm assuming his race is still going on over on Legends Racing Network on YouTube. So that is where we are going to end it here. Russell Windsor picking up if you would have asked me in the middle of the race, the unlikely win. But congratulations to him. Matt Bruce ran a hell of a race as well. Kyle Taub, Evan Clapper, Dylan Harris, James Lambert, Michael Harris, Devin McIntosh, Eric Kempf, and Zane Woods rounding in your top 10. We had some heroes. We had some zeros. Actually, not really any zeros. Nothing huge happened. So everyone ran a great race. Was able to keep it out there. And just a really good, fun, kind of close race. I mean, that was a lot of fun. I hope you guys at home enjoyed that one. Good race. I think 2-3 yellows that entire time. So that'll make the incident review team happy, as there's not a ton to really watch with this one. So we will see you guys next week at Texas, not Homestead. Not sure where I got Homestead from, but it is Texas, for the championship. Heading to the Lone Star State. Appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you next week.